Hello everyone. This is going to be a live where I'm going to be talking about myself and my experiences. The reason why I wanted to do this live is a bunch of other lives that I've had more recently were about other people, and all of you kept asking about me, so I was like, okay. As always, big thank you to my Patreons. You all have been keeping me going, and it's been wonderful having you all as resources to be able to share ideas with future content and to see what you want as far as what do I do outside of TikTok, consultations, classes, all of that. My Patreons have been just wonderful with giving me their ideas and being wonderful people to speak to. So that being said, welcome everybody who just joined. Got the notification at last. Yeah, I actually went live 3 times last week. I went live with Hannah Series and Mara Starling, and I have posted 2 of those on my YouTube so far. The one with Hannah is going to be coming out this week. It just took a little bit of editing to do, and I think that'll be really fun for everybody to see once that is out. And yeah, you caught 2. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're catching this one too. And yeah, I've actually got 3 lives that are coming out this week, today, and then tomorrow I'll be at the Railroad Museum with Kid, that is their name, by the way, KYD, and Driver, who's a spirit who I've talked about in my Ghost Skits 1 playlist. And I'm looking at my calendar. The next time I go live will be at 6:30 on Thursday, and that will be with Emily, aka Liker of Words, and we're gonna be talking about the new moon and some things to expect. Thank you for the gift. How long have I been at the Railroad Museum? Let's see. I started to work there a little over a year ago, and now I am just a volunteer, and I say that very happily. I go in to work with them on content, different ideas, and I am their resident medium. I'm the resident medium there. I'm the resident medium of 24 South Coffee House. I'm the resident medium of the Bergwin Wright House. That is who I am, I guess, around town. So it's been a cool sort of trade of services, I guess, where I'm able to be sure that things are chill on a spiritual level, and they of course get to share content with me, and I share it with all of you, and it's been cool. There are also some other folks around town that I work with, small business owners, and I'm hoping to create some more content based on them and where they're at, all downtown, super haunted, and in a very fascinating way. I know someone is trying to steal my identity to scam people. Yes, I'm well aware. I keep putting out videos and Instagram posts and that sort of thing talking about it. Unfortunately, TikTok does not take my reports as seriously because I have yet to been granted a blue check next to my name. So all I can ask everybody to do is to please keep reporting and blocking them. If you're going to tell me about them, please tag them so that I can go straight to their page. Otherwise, just block and report them and just keep at it. That's all I can do myself, and I keep having to say that. I've had over 50 accounts try to pose as me, and so in case you have not heard about it yet, I will not DM you and say, have a free reading, and then charge you for it. I will not really DM you at all unless you're like a fellow creator and I'm looking to do like a shared live or collab or something like that. All of my correspondence is in emails or my contact form on my website. It is far more secure there, and that's why I keep directing people back. I know my mods are on here. Hello, thank you for being here. And 2 of you, 3 of you I talked to today. That was a bug. P.S. If any orbs happen to show up in my lives, if it is a bug, I will tell you if it's a bug. I promise that much. All of that was a bug. It is a gnat. Thank you, Miss Lily. So yeah, hi, what's up? What's going on? Thank you for the gifts. I wanted to make a live where I explained who I was a bit more. I've been doing a lot of lives with other people, and I keep getting questions of people being like, how are you a medium? How in the world did you know that? And a lot of you are new here, so I'm going to go through that, and it's been a while since I've even talked about all of that. So yeah, here we go. And for all of you who are giving gifts, thank you so much. So really my journey, I guess that sounds so like my journey. But I started out, goodness, I could see stuff when I was very, very young. Some of my earliest memories are actually, thank you, actually pretty terrifying, or they had been terrifying to me because I couldn't explain them. We're talking about anything from souls to otherworldly beings to shadows to all sorts of things that I couldn't explain. And because my parents were not sensitive, at least not on a level that I was, I didn't feel comfortable talking to them about it. Or perhaps I did and it just wasn't fully understood, or it was played off or something like that. I'm going to use an example real quick. For parents out there, when your kids have bad dreams, I would love it just from you to me if you would please tell them how to combat their dreams rather than just say it's not real. The reality is we don't always know if our dreams are real. And I, as a kid, was being terrorized in my dreams, not only from dream walking, I didn't realize it at the time, but also from just experiences of things getting into my head and that sort of thing. I work with parents in consultations to talk about empowering children. It's not to sit there and be like, oh, all dreams are real. No, it's more of a matter of saying, hey, so if that happened while you were awake, what would you do? How would you handle the situation? And, you know, the ideal answer is, oh, I would call mom, or I would call dad, or I would call parent, you know. But let's say, okay, well, you know, for one, the parent should always be like, of course I would come and help you, but here's what I would do. And, you know, basically kick butt. Kids are incredibly creative. If we empower them to take a stronghold of their own abilities in dreams, they will be just fine. I say that because I didn't have that growing up, and I actually closed all of it off at a very young age. Manifestation is very real, and basically every night before I went to sleep, I told myself I would not remember my dreams, and that was the start of me closing things off. And yeah, for most of my life, I could not remember my dreams. Something pretty huge had to get through in order for me to remember my dreams. And that was all from being preset as a child. But yes, thanks again for all the gifts and for all the likes. I really appreciate it. So from that, okay, and I'm seeing some great questions. I'm going to continue my train of thought, and then I want to go back to them because I'm seeing really great questions and I want to answer them. But yeah, for a long time I closed it off, and then in my, and thank you for the gifts, okay, in my teen years, I remember 12, 13, 14, I started to get other abilities back, so to speak, because I found myself in a number of spiritually dangerous situations that were outside of my control, dealing with some people who were really close to me. And that's when I started to see auras. It used to be as a kid, I couldn't tell the difference between physical people and other spirits. Part of me closing that off was also closing off my physical clairvoyance. I was still having mental imagery, but it wasn't the same. So, yeah, I had some experiences that were honestly pretty scary, because it's always the scariest when it's around people that you care about and you feel helpless about that. And yeah, that was another thing. So that was really scary. I shut it off again. I got really super depressed while I was in high school. And that was due to not just spiritual things, but a lot of things that were going on. And basically my body was just doing everything to stay alive. And so being open spiritually was really not what was on the agenda. I was still very religious at the time. I still had a belief that there were things out there, but really as far as expanding upon that and being curious about those things, I was very guarded about that. And that's why I say for folks, please don't feel like you have to like open up 100% all of a sudden. I don't think that's right for everybody. It really depends on your level of what you're comfortable with. And it's a rare thing if you can just flip a switch. Most of the time you have to actively progress in some way and basically tell your guides, tell yourself, tell the universe that you want it. A lot of folks have these abilities when they're very young, similar to me. I think that everybody can grow these abilities. A lot of people, I literally talked to somebody in a consultation today where I was doing a spirit guide reading, where they didn't realize how much they had been tapping in with the spirit guide. And what's cool is when I do these readings, I want to go in with as little information as possible, especially with spirit guides, because I don't want them telling me who they are and how they are and that kind of thing. I want to tell them how they're connecting with their spirit guide. And so often people will say, whoa, that's one of my favorite things to do, or I didn't realize that my spirit guide had to do that. I love doing that. You know your spirit guides already. It's just a matter of recognizing when you're perceiving them. Sometimes a spirit guide can be very much like a friend, and you don't always know when one opinion begins and another opinion like ends. It's just kind of like you share that together. But anywho, let's see, we're going into my college years. I woke up again because I dated someone who was attracting things that were not good. And this particular person was not doing any protective measures for themselves. So once again, spirit side woke up in me and I had to get defensive. That was really scary, and then I shut it off again. And then I joined corporate world in Washington, D.C. I was a producer, performer, and playwright. Honestly, that's what I've been doing most of my life. And thank you again for the gift. And yeah, I did a lot of running for a long time. I did a lot of running from a lot of different things in my life. I moved around a lot, and I don't regret any of it. Like, I love that I got the opportunities that I did, just by sheer will and being prepared to occasionally be homeless, which is a whole other thing. Talk about trusting your intuition. But yeah, basically from there, I started a business in Raleigh with my partner, and I realized that there was a lot more that I was missing, and that I finally wanted to take things a bit slower and at a healthy pace. Actually getting my dog Mira was actually a spiritual awakening, because suddenly I wanted to go hiking with her as much as possible. And so I was able to reconnect with literal roots, but also my roots in spirituality by connecting with nature. And so really it was a slow process, but it was a steady process until finally my partner and we moved to Wilmington on a whim. We had zero reason to move. We just knew that we needed to at that time for our health. And really, I mean, I'd say the rest is history, but since a lot of you are new, I'll kind of let you know. In moving to Wilmington, the first house that we lived in, it was called a bus stop for spirits, because there was at least one in every room. They kind of shared space. And then every now and then we would get folks that would just kind of come and go. And yes, including the bathrooms. That was an experience. I'm going to make some more skits about that, because I didn't talk about it as much as I did when I was like, you know, there, because I was just like, yeah, I mean, everything in Wilmington seems haunted, but, you know, not everybody talks about it. Apparently people do talk about it here. It's kind of like when you live in like Charleston or Savannah or St. Augustine, you talk about the things. So from there, which I'm going to pause this a second. Hey, Jay? Jay? He's listening to something and it's really loud. Can you turn the volume down, please? Yeah. Thank you. It's distracting. So, yeah, pretty much living in Wilmington, living in a haunted house, that'll certainly wake things up. But for the first time, I wasn't afraid of everything. I was like curious about it. I started doing ghost tours. I no longer do ghost tours for a variety of reasons that really I'm not going to get into right now. But yeah, I just started to connect with spirits. I really thought it was in my head for a long time because I was seeing it with my inner eye clairvoyance rather than my like physical clairvoyance, basically, or physical eye clairvoyance. I'm getting that back, but remember, it's been a process, and it used to be frustrating to me, though now I am leaning into that and I'm learning that it's a strength. It's a lot more having to trust myself rather than, you know, just seeing something right in front of me, though it is coming back. So yeah, that's how I fell into reclaiming my roots as a medium. Yeah. So it's a lot of this. That's the thing. A lot of people, thank you. I think a lot of people have come on here and they just think it's like 100% all the time. It's not. I've gotten a lot of questions being like, how do you tell the difference between them and real people? Because I shut it off when I was younger, I can now very much tell the difference between them and real people. I also have a video on my Q&A playlist talking about how I perceive spirits. And some of you, I would recommend checking that out because you may be perceiving them as well. And if you are only under the understanding that you have to be able to see or hear them, well, there are a lot of other ways that you can perceive them as well. So that was one thing I had to accept about myself. The key thing that I did to really wake up all of this was during pandemic, a lot of things slowed down, was completely unemployed for the first time in my life. I couldn't keep running. So I had to slow down and I did a lot of meditation. I did a lot of thinking. And I came to terms with who I was and how to be healthy, and that really just spilled over into my spirituality. It was like spirituality unlocked. It's like basically me, my body had to be in better shape, and my mental health had to be in better shape, and then like check, and then I just had to feel comfortable enough in the not comfortable reality that was pandemic. It's like finding the peace in the chaos. So it was like check, and finally spirituality was like, aha, you are ready. It's not that way for everybody, but that has been my journey. So wanted to share that with everybody to just kind of check back in. So yeah, let's see. Hi from Ireland. What's up? Oh, hey Myra. Soul Signs Hypnosis is on. If you're ever interested in a past life reading, I highly recommend her. She asked what my strongest Clair is. I would say, thank you for the gifts, oh my goodness. I would say claircognizance, intuition. That's something I never shut off. And it's something like my mom has always told me from a very young age. She was just like, you know what you want if you can just be calm enough to figure it out. And really what that means is to have a better hold on my mental health so I can calm down, and so I can ask a good question, get grounded, and see where to go from there. Also, if anybody's looking to grow their intuition or their claircognizance, I would say travel, because you are not in control of everything when you travel. It's a great way to have to trust yourself or trust your guides, and to also learn and be open to that. And obviously right now, please be safe. My form of traveling last year was being in a bus and staying away from people, but I got to, do different things. So that was really cool. Oh, thank you. Thanks for the gifts. I really appreciate it. I have not been to New Orleans, though I really want to go. And someone asked if I don't like the word gypsy because I am not one. I've been told to use the term Romney people. And I just wanted to say I don't think it's fair to assume that an entire group of people are con artists. That's a mass generalization. Just something to think about. So thank you for thanks for all the love on my shirt. It's another something I got from Cider. Oh my goodness, they need to sponsor me because I buy clothing like every 5 to 10 years. And I say that literally, like I'm literally wearing pants right now that I got in 2012. That's how often I buy clothing. It's like every decade or so I see clothing that I really like, and then like I'll buy a bunch of it, and then I just like won't really buy anything for like a decade. So that's me. Yeah, I'm just gonna, how about this? Since I know I've been speaking a lot, to answer some other questions. So already I don't do readings on lives. There's way too much different energy in here, and I want to be sure that I connect with people individually and not out of the almost 300 people that are here. So if you're interested in that, I do offer that on my services page on my website. And please understand, this isn't me being like, everybody book with me. No, it's just me being honest to how my abilities work. I want to be sure that I am absolutely contacting who you want me to contact, or I'm able to tell you why there's an issue on how I'm not able to contact them. I am always honest with people when it comes to that. It should never be assumed that everybody can contact everyone. I made a video about like how not every spirit likes me, but really it's like not every person likes every person. So not every spirit likes every person. Not every spirit likes every spirit. Fortunately, it's very few and far between when I meet a spirit that like straight up doesn't want to say anything, but I am going to be honest. That's something I've always wanted to be on my platform. I've always wanted to be honest with people on just what I see and what's going on. And I never want to leave people wanting. I work with people one-on-one to help them grow their skill sets as well, so that you don't feel like you're leaving a session and you're just like, oh man, I don't know what to do. No, I am all about homework, but it's the fun kind. It's like games that you can play and how you can connect with your own abilities, with your own guides, with your own past loved ones. That's really important to me because I think everybody can do this. I think everybody has intuition. I've yet to run into anyone who didn't have any intuition whatsoever. We are in a grand reawakening time right now. So if you've always wondered, can I do this? Do I have intuition? You know, anything like that. Now's the time to get curious. Read things, watch people that call out to you, try new stuff, and trust yourself when you try these things. Trust that it's for your development, however quickly or not quickly that you want it. I want everybody to feel like they can simply connect with themselves and with others. I don't want to put this out there that this idea that only mediums can no, everybody can do this. It's just a matter of where your life path is. So anywho, that was it. That was it. Itty bitty tangent. So, okay, I'm going through questions. Is there anything I recommend to read? Actually, yes. This is on my website. I don't get any kickback from this or anything. This is called Psychic Development for Beginners. You can see that. And it's by William W. Hewitt. He's a really talented psychic. Here's the thing with any book like this. And by the way, I know the cover looks really boring. The material is good. But I have a link on my website if you go under the Vetted Practitioners page. With anything that you're learning from, it's important with spirituality, keep what works for you, scrap what doesn't. There are a lot of exercises in this book that are great for me. There are also, exercises in this book that I didn't really gel with. It's not that they were bad. I was just kind of like, this isn't how it works for me. That is okay. Be true to yourself. I'm also, okay, I guess I'm unofficially announcing this. I am creating a course. This is in the very beginning of stages. So if you're interested in that, I have a newsletter on my website. If you go to the front page and just like scroll down, you'll see how to sign up. I don't spam people. That really annoys me. I send out 4 newsletters a year, unless it's something like monumental, like huge, like when my book comes out. But yeah, if you're interested in that course, I'm going to have different options there. And I'm really excited to release that because once again, it's with the encouragement that everybody can do this. It's just figuring out how do you perceive. Thank you. Oh my goodness, all the gifts. I really appreciate it. Let's see. So, yeah, the lives are really coming nowadays. It just so happened last week I scheduled a number of lives, and then this week I also scheduled, but I came on just as myself because I was like, people keep asking questions about me, and that's really flattering. So I wanted to give a chance for people to ask me questions rather than me asking questions of other creators. Could I put the name of the book on Insta or Patreon? Just honestly, because I may forget, if you just go to my website, RebekahTheGhostGuide.com, just go to the vetted practitioners page. It's like near the top, I promise. What's my book called? What? Jay actually helped me come up with the title, and now I'm having a blank. Anyway, I guess it's not meant to be for me to share the title, apparently, right now. But it's something in imprints, I know that much. And it's now in 2 parts. I was going to put it all in 1 part, and it would just basically encapsulate the Ghost Skits 1 playlist. Here's the thing, though. If you've seen all the Ghost Skits 1 playlist, which, by the way, is 5 hours somehow. What? I'm actually going to be sharing information that would not have been exactly TikTok friendly on the book, and I'm also going to be giving a lot more descriptions on how I perceive. So I'm doing all this with the intention and the hope that people read this and they see things that they're doing, and they're able to be like, whoa, I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know I was picking up on spirits, that sort of thing. So it's to encourage and hopefully enlighten as well. So let's see. But yeah, once again, that'll be on the newsletter at some point. And I do not spam on newsletters, so if you want to sign up for that, it is on my website. Do I have the book Haunted Wilmington? If that's the one written by John Herchek, I do. Just fact check it. That's all I'm gonna say when it comes to history. But I did enjoy it the first time I read it. I really did. Then I did some digging. So yeah, hi everybody. If you see large white orbs in your house, are they nice spirits? Here's the thing. This is when it's worth it to use your other senses. And this is why when people are like, if people only are relying on their clairvoyance or their ability to see with their eyes, it can be blinding to all your other skills. So when you ask me, is it nice? I ask you, how does it feel? Because if you ask yourself, your gut may have a reaction, your head may have a reaction. Always, thank you. Always go with how you feel on things, because in my experience, and I can only speak to my experience and who I've talked to and who I've learned from, nice is relative, just like with people. Like, not everybody's all nice, not everybody's all mean. Sometimes colors can mean things. It just sort of depends. Yeah, orbs are... Sometimes they can be relatable to aura colors. But I also know some spirits just show up as white orbs. So not necessarily. It's a lot to look into when you consider it. I also always say, and this is not out of cruelty to you, this is in general, as with anything, I always do go back to science. I go back to a physical understanding and that sort of thing. If you're seeing orbs everywhere, you may want to get it checked out with the doctor. I'm not saying that as a way to be mean, because I know what it feels like to have people say things that, you know, are like, have you been to a therapist? Do you have schizophrenia? I don't, by the way. And yes, I have been to a therapist, because everybody deserves therapy. And honestly, it should be covered, and we should all be able to go to therapy however many times we want, because it's good for us. But anyway, off that soapbox. Yeah, if you're seeing orbs everywhere, or if you're only seeing orbs at specific times, maybe like after turning out a light or something like that, you may want to look for a scientific reason of that. I always say if you can disprove the science, then that's when you can really look into the spirituality. But I'm telling you the same things that I do with myself. I do always try to figure out the science behind anomalies. But yeah, if you're seeing activity specific, like that can actually be credited in some sense. Like when I say credited, I mean sentient, so you can ask it questions and it blinks. I also had on my recent video that went viral, which by the way, thanks for watching. Thanks for the gifts too. Some people were saying check for a gas leak. I know what they're referring to. I appreciate it if they're saying that out of kindness. I have a carbon monoxide detector in the house that works. I have a smoke detector in the house that works. You know, the reason why I say this is sometimes if there's a gas leak of some kind, they're like basically hallucinations can come from that. But once again, I'm saying check the science. So if you can disprove the science and be like, okay, so I've checked off the boxes here, 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 and here, then you get to look into the spiritual and all these things I do myself. Yeah, anywho. We are not in the bus anymore. I needed a home office in order to do full-time consultations and content creation. I miss it though. We are going to be selling it. We just got to spruce it up a little bit more. So if you are interested in a house bus, send me an email. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the price is going to be, but it's not going to be outrageous, especially considering the prices of everything else right now. We do believe in affordable housing, so even if it comes at a cost to us, but it means somebody getting a home, it certainly meant a lot to us. So yeah, we're willing to work with people. Yeah, so don't tempt you. Let's see. Okay, I get a lot of questions on house cleansing, and I would encourage you to check out the how to do a spiritual cleansing video on my YouTube. It's under the Q&A playlist. If you look at uploads, it'll be a little bit farther down. I interview 3 other people, plus talk about what I do. You always cleanse with whatever intention you want. If you only want to get the bad energy out or the mucky energy out, then just get the mucky energy out. You don't have to cleanse out any friendly spirits. You're certainly not cleansing out, you know, past loved ones or spirit guides, unless you want to. Spirit guides, it doesn't quite work that way. The reason why I bring up past loved ones is not everybody has a great relationship. I should say not loved ones, but past people who maybe you don't want around. I get that. You can cleanse them out. And I do say that from experience. I've had people who have passed who are not good then and were not good when they came back, and they made me feel bad about myself. So I was like, I'm not going to put up with this because I have self-respect. So please have self-respect for yourself and understand that you are in charge of your physical space. This is our plane of existence. That means that we have more oomph, so to speak, when it comes to deciding where our lines are. But yeah, check out the video on my YouTube, and I think I'll also be talking about cleansing stuff in the class that I eventually put up. So, great combo on here, thank you. Let's see. Yeah, my mods, you're all so fantastic. I appreciate you so much. Apparently so much that my accent came out there. My goodness. Did you hear that on the much? That's a gnat. Anyway. Oh, cute. Yeah, these are my, I'm not going to go through all of them right now, but I'm not going to say I'm a collector of anything, but I just, over time, I've found like little things that mean a lot to me or hold memories to them. As I significantly downsized to be in the bus, I only have so many. You'll see they're very small and tucked away right here. But yeah, they all have meaning to me. And you know, there's something to be said about that. Call it psychology, call it spirit, but it's something about when you hold something, you hold a memory and you hold how you got it. So that's why I have little things that I've acquired throughout my life that mean different things to me. And whenever I want to revisit that memory or feel a feeling again, I will just hold it. It's also called being Clair tangent. It's a kind of clairsentience. So yeah, that's like an extension of that. The extension when it goes to spiritual is if you touch something that you've never touched before and you get a memory from it. It's like time travel, and some things have more umph than others. I always say if you're secondhand shopping and you get like a weird feeling about something or a bad feeling, you know, ask yourself if you should be buying it in the first place. But remember, you can also cleanse off that item before you get home. And remember tips on that on my YouTube. So yeah, hi everybody. Goodness, it's been 30 minutes. What is up? Am I ever afraid of ghosts? I used to be. See, I had to think about that. I've had ghosts do like frightening things. But if I stay scared, I don't stay in that space. A scared medium is not good. Hi, Asheville. I used to live there. Yeah, for example, when I went to Gettysburg, the orphanage, all of that's on YouTube as well. It's 3 different lives, and I combined all of them, which is super cool, so that you can see 3 different perspectives. But a lot of people who have gone there have had really awful experiences. They've been super terrified. It's at the orphanage. I mean, it's been on a variety of ghost shows. There's a lot going on. I went down there and really I just got serious. Like, that's how I work. If I'm emotional about something, I don't stick around because I need to be at balance if I'm going to be of use. That's why I have parameters set for myself. Like before, like hydration is one of them, sure. I don't do readings or consultations if I'm not in a good headspace. And so I have to do a lot to be sure that my mental health is well in check. It's like when my dog and best friend and love, when she made her transition into spirit, in part I was mourning her not being as here as I had been used to her being here. She has come back, which is super cool, and I'm very grateful for that. Though, you know, whenever you're with someone who's nearing that transition, it is very emotional, and I had to do a lot of rescheduling with people. And if you were one of those reschedulers, thank you for working with me. I have struggled, I guess, with being a perfectionist and wanting to get things in the right time and not wanting to disappoint people, and having to reschedule consultations. I'm always like, oh, I know they're looking forward to this, and I know they've been waiting for this, and I do whatever I can to not have to do that. Though, you know, that was a situation where I was in mourning, so I could have channeled, but I know my parameters, and I wanted to be sure that I could be all that I could be for people rather than just like me not okay. So yeah, anywho, that's part of my parameters, I suppose, in reading. Of course, I don't ever do new readings when I'm not sober. And I know some people, here's the thing, some people do need something in order to maintain their mental state, like prescriptions, or I know some people do a little, like, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, like to the side. I personally don't knock it for anybody who does. But yeah, I always want to be in a sober, awake mindset, to be not too cold or not too hot. And I know that's how I can be the best that I could be. Anyway, yeah, if you want to check out what happened in Gettysburg, go for it. I was cold. And Kat helped me by giving me a huge blanket. So in part, I'm like walking around and I'm like covered in this huge blanket. It's ridiculous, honestly. But then I'm also like, not like angrily talking to a ghost in the orphanage, but I'm also like, you're a terrible person and you should feel terrible. So, you know. So somebody asked if I see ghosts all the time or if I see ghosts every day. Yeah, because I live with some. I connect with my guides every day. And Rupert and Jimothy are here. Jimothy's in and out. Fanny has been coming over more. She's more than welcome here. All these spirits I mentioned in my summer solstice video, which is also now on YouTube. That was a lot of fun. It got really ridiculous. Really ridiculous. And when you see it, you know what I mean. Basically, we had 12, 13 spirits hanging out at our house. Not all of them live here, but like they travel well and they knew that where we were. So I was just like, hey, it's a party on summer solstice. And so like a bunch of people came over and hung out with my physical partner and I. So yeah. Somebody said you wish you can hug a ghost. Here's what I would suggest. It's like sharing energy, or it's sharing the intention behind the feeling of why you want to hug them. So you can share feelings. People do this all the time if you think about it. It's kind of like if you're with your friend and you just like know how they're feeling. Sure, that can be like a level of empath or clair emotive, being able to read their emotions. But it's like if you know, another way this happens, if you're like on the phone with somebody and you're telling them something that happened to you and you're really upset, and they may say something, but then you just like feel their care for you. That's kind of how you can hug a ghost. So it's like sharing the emotive feeling of the hug. So if you're thinking about past loved ones and you're like, oh man, I wish I could, you know, share that with you. It's not the same, but it's still something you can share. And I know what you mean too, because I remember when Mira passed, like to this day, I still want to hold her. Like she was my potato. And she still is. It's just different now. Instead of like feeling all of the physical sensation of like petting a dog, now it's more like feeling the energetic signature, or feeling the electromagnetic difference, or understanding that I'm petting her head or I'm rubbing her belly, rather than like feeling. Now, that's how my clairsentience works. It may grow over time. Remember, everybody, your skills can do this depending on what you want from them. Mine are growing. So yeah, there may be a time where I just like put my hand down and I'm just like, whoa, there's her head. Right now it's a put my hand down, oh, that is her head. Like, it's like the understanding of it. And that's just as valid. Something that I'm going to be doing tomorrow on Tuesday, it's at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be at the Wilmington Railroad Museum again. We're going to be talking to the driver, and I'm also going to be talking to Kid, and KYD, by the way, that's their name. And Kid is growing their clair audience, so their ability to hear spirits. And what I love about Kid is they're very honest about where they are in their growth and that kind of thing. They're also using ability as an empath. So you're going to see what it's like to grow these skills, and hopefully you'll be able to see, some of you are going to see parts of yourself in that, because it is validating when you're working to grow these things and you're like, whoa, that person is seeing or hearing or experiencing how I do. And that's something I always want to celebrate, when people are growing as they do at a rate that they will do. It's not a light switch. At least I know very few people that it's been like a light switch. So for everybody else, we get to really experience the journey. It's not all about the destination. We get to grow and learn about different people's strengths as we do it. Oh, thank you for the shout out. Yeah, if anybody wants a reading from me, it's on my website, RebekahTheGhostGuide.com. Yeah, also, for anybody who wants to talk with me one-on-one, I have something called a general consult or a quick chat. I don't tap in on a mediumship level with that. I merely speak with you from my experiences. I can help folks grow their abilities, give you resources, hopefully make you feel more sane. Some people just like, they literally get on to talk to me and they're just like, I have this crazy story, but I don't want to feel crazy for talking about it. And I'll be like, yes, what is your story? I want to know. And they'll talk it. But the thing is, one, I listen and I do it from a caring way, because I'm always excited about hearing what folks want to share. But then I also offer clarity on what went on as far as, you know, like an outside perspective. It's like when you tell your therapist a situation and they're like, okay, I see this happened, this happened, and this happened. Is that correct? Okay. So from there, they're kind of like, so did you feel like this, or perhaps this is a way to move forward? Now, I am not a mental health professional, and I always know my lines. In consultations, I will always put a line down and be like, hey, this is where, like, I'm the spiritual health professional, but I never want to overstep in that, because I have a high respect for mental health professionals. But in the similar vein, I can listen to things that have happened, and I can let you know from my experience what I think happened. And a lot of people do that, and I really love that. And I love when people share their stories with me, and I want people to feel less afraid of these things. So talking them out with somebody who's not going to look at you like you're crazy, it's been very cool for a lot of people. It's something that I've never seen other spiritual practitioners doing. I want to feel like, I want people to feel like they can talk to me. The thing is, though, in the proper places, and I have to say that now, it's not out of cruelty. It's simply that for a long time, my emails and my DMs were just blowing up, and everybody had all these questions, and I was being drained because I wasn't putting in healthy parameters of when to stop. So now I just have times that you can book to talk to me in live time. And I really had to do that for my health. But I do offer that option. The reason why I offer any of these options in the first place is because people were asking. All of the things that I have learned I can do through consultations, people asked. They're like, hey, can you try this? And I was like, all right, I'll try it. And now I have such a better understanding of the abilities that I have and how I can assist with other people. And I also have the understanding of things that I don't do. And I'm honest about that, because I don't want to lead people, you know, into like astray, so to speak. That's not, there's enough of that out there in the world right now through many different channels. And when I say channels, I mean like, not like necessarily TikTok, but you know what I mean, like just out there. So yeah, a thing that I offer that I've yet to see other people offer is just a chance to talk. And you can book that, and I would love to talk to you if you're interested in that. Otherwise, if that is not of interest to you, there's absolutely no requirement there or anything like that. I often say I don't sell my services. I just say what I have, and if that's of interest to you and you feel called to that, great. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy my videos. And hey, if you even don't believe in all of this stuff, that is fine. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I hope you enjoy my stories. That's the most that I can hope for. The link is in my bio. You can also go to RebekahTheGhostGuide.com, and that's REBEKAH, theghostguide.com. And while I'm on the subject, I will say it again. If anyone DMs you saying it's me and they talk about readings, it is not me. Block and report them immediately. I'm doing everything that I possibly can from my side to do the same, though we're all kind of in the same boat. Do not get scammed. It is not me. I do not DM people soliciting things. If I ever DM you, it'll be because I'm following you and I want to do collaborative content with you. And then I'll probably say, hey, this is my email. Please email me here. So yeah, my tri-weekly reminder, thank you, because literally every day, and I know everybody means it well, but every day somebody's like, there's a scammer, da 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 da, and I'm like, I know, I'm doing everything I can. So yeah, thanks for following, everybody. You're at the Bergman Wright House on Friday and was wondering if there are any spirits around. Ooh, yeah, you're going to want to check out my YouTube. Yes. I've got an hour-long live where I was with the director of the museum, and she took me on a tour on a live. There are also 3 episodes on... let's see, if you go way back a little while on the Bergman Wright House, where my partner and I went, and I did some channeling there. That was almost 2 years ago, those first 3 episodes, and then the one where I went live was just a few months ago. So yeah, if you like the Bergman Wright House, I love them. I work with them as much as I can. I think they're wonderful people, and they've done a wonderful preservation job of that house, but to also tell the stories and the histories of all the people that would have been found there. Which I think is super important, especially right now. And if you took the tour, I bet you understand exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, check it out on my YouTube. So cool. Let's see, how to, can I speak more about using intent when communicating? I would say that has to do with willpower and, in part, self-respect. So you have willpower, self-respect, and saying and meaning your truth. If you tell something to get out, it's really willpower, right? Even if it's like a person that's standing there. If you say it loudly enough and you are intimidating enough and you say, "This is my house, get out," congratulations, you win, they're out. Some people have to do other things in order to do that. I would say when working on a spiritual level, if it helps you, especially if you have to get potentially combative, like if you're doing a cleansing and you're like, no, you got to go. For that, it's a matter of standing in your strength and being like, all right, this is my life, this is my house. Mean what you say what you mean, make it real. I've found that for removing big bad things, it really comes down to willpower. And sometimes that willpower is attached to a higher being. Pick the higher being that works for you. That's what I always say. So that can be helpful. And sometimes that higher being can give you more will, give you more strength in what you say, making it real. But yeah, have the confidence and belief in yourself and mean what you say what you mean. Yeah, so... No, have I baked anything for Rupert lately? No. He doesn't really like sweets. So, yeah, I haven't really baked much for him. Though, Jay made scones the other day, and they were so good. They were, like a rosemary and sea salt. He got rosemary from outside and used it in scones. It was so good. Rupert actually liked that. He likes more savory stuff. But if you're saying I should bake him something, probably. And I have a book on pies that I still need to make something for Timothy. Though, honestly, right now with how hot it is, I try to be conservative on how much I use my oven. I literally ate cold soup for lunch, dinner. I have like a lunch dinner. It's like one or the other. Because I am a small person, in case anybody didn't know that I was the size of a large child. Congratulations, now you know. I do not eat that much, but it's actually healthy for being this small. Somebody recently on a video, they're like, "Hey, are you eating?" I was like, "Yeah, I eat every day." I am at a good weight with my doctor, so that's that. Not like any of you needed to know that, but here we are. So let's see. Can confirm I am a short adult. How does an empath coincide with the Clairs? So it's actually Emily, who's Liker of Words, which I'm going live with her on Thursday. The link's in my bio. She actually talks about a Clair skill in one of her online classes that I took. It's called Clair Emotive. So being an empath can be perceiving emotions. Being Clair Emotive is being able to not only perceive the emotions, but sometimes putting them out there. It's very similar to being an empath. It's like, wait, is it Clair Emotive is empath? Empath isn't always Clair Emotive. But yeah, being able to read emotions, that's actually one of my primary skill sets. It's intuition or claircognizance, and then I'd say mental imagery is another really strong one. So inner eye clairvoyance, and then Clair Emotive. Thank you for the gifts. Funny thing is, I am not Clair Emotive with people, and that's my choice. Remember, you can always decide how much you turn on or don't turn on. People have a lot of feelings, and it's part of a human experience, and I'm actually naturally an introvert. I've done some meet and greet opportunities recently. I'm actually going to be at a convention on Saturday in Raleigh that's called GalaxyCon. I may run away a few times just to recharge. Like, I'll be fine on stage because I've done theater for most of my life. So that'll be good. Though when it comes to like meeting and greeting people, sometimes I get like really like, meh. So if you happen to meet me in the wild, yeah, I might be awkward. I don't know. Yeah, you saw the video. Yeah, I was really happy with the video about the ghost going to the river. Let's see, what do I think about astral projection? I mean, if you need answers, I would suggest getting a one-on-one chat with me through my website. Because even though I regularly do astral project, our experiences may be similar but different. So that's why I like to talk with people one-on-one. Astral projection should only be done if it feels safe to you. And whether or not it feels safe to you will depend on if you get to that point and you don't feel good about it. If you are worried about leaving your body, then don't. I know very talented psychic mediums who choose not to go into astral because they're just like, nope, not for me. Some people's psychic strengths get stronger in astral. It really just kind of depends on who you are and what your strengths are. So yeah, if you want to learn about going into astral, there's some meditations online, that sort of thing. I might include a course kind of on it when I start doing classes, which, by the way, if you want information on that, sign up for the newsletter on my website. I do not spam. I really send out like 4 newsletters a year. So yeah, if that might be a like kind of a side thing that I do on astral. But, you know, I think for some that I've found, it's kind of like, oh, you, like, and I'm not saying this about the commenter at all. I'm really just saying, like, about some people. They're like, oh, yeah, when you level up, you can go to astral. No, it doesn't work that way. There's no leveling up. Some people are just good at going into astral, and that's a great skill set. Some people do have to learn different things before they can go into astral. Some people can go into astral and they don't even realize it, and then they think they're dreaming or something like that, and then they aren't even aware of their psychic skill sets, you know, period, when they're awake. There are a lot of, you know, different skills, and we're all, you know, in this pool of life together trying to figure out how to swim. So in that metaphor, be sure that you're at least able to tread water. Or stay in the shallow zone. It's always okay. There's no shame in that. Always go at the rate that feels right to you, because that's what's right for you. You should never compare yourself to other people or what other people can do. And I'm saying that as somebody who has dealt with imposter syndrome myself. So please understand, all the advice that I give out are things that I have had to learn myself. So cool. Okay, well, I've been on this live for an hour now, so I'm going to pop off. This is all going to be on my YouTube. I've talked about guides and my journey as a medium and a lot of other things. Thanks for all the compliments. P.S. Spirits are good. Rupert and Jimothy, they're grand. Even Fanny's good. But yeah, remember, if you want to talk with me one-on-one, consider the services on my website. That way we can actually converse in real time. Remember, I am not in my DMs, so anybody who says that they are me is not me. When they come at you asking for readings, just block and report them. Do not ask questions. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. That's a Monopoly reference if you don't know that reference. So yeah, thanks everybody for following. I will be back again live tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Wilmington Railroad Museum, which is also super, super haunted. I've been live there before, and if you haven't seen that, check out my YouTube. All of these are going to be on my YouTube later. And I think that's the end of my spiel. Oh, except for thank you, Patreons. I said it at the beginning and I'll say it again. Thank you so much for supporting me and answering my questions as I try to give you the best content possible. So yeah, all right. Well, good night, good day, good whatever you have, wherever you're from. And just, yeah, thanks again for following me. I really appreciate it.